Excuse me, ma'am. Jack Pendleton from the Chronicle. Could I just take a moment to ask you a couple questions about what... Well, yes, I am. I'm that Jack Pendleton, in the flesh. I am. They did used to call me Pulitzer Jack back in the day. Thank you for remembering. That's very kind of you. Oh no, see, honestly, I always just kind of downplayed that. I mean, really, I think I was just the right reporter in the right place at the right time. And if I happen to win 3 Pulitzers in a row, well then, lucky me. So, anyway, if I could just ask you a couple questions about what happened over here at your neighbor. Huh, well, nobody's asked me that for a while. I have to think about that. Well, I suppose for sheer weirdness, it would have to be the Starlight Sausage Factory scandal. That story was just waiting to happen. I told him if I'm going to blow the lid off this thing, I am going undercover as a hog carcass. Honestly, I wasn't thinking Pulitzer at the time. I was just thinking, let's get these crooks behind bars. And this is really, really gross. Anyway, back to the issue of your neighbor. Now, good memory. Yes, Crenshaw. Donald Laverne Crenshaw. I wrote that story too. Crenshaw. A monster. Terrible person, barely human. I suppose you read he died in prison a couple of months ago. No great loss, in my opinion. But, do you happen to remember what was special about that story? No. Okay. A little journalism tribute for you here. The Donald Crenshaw story, that was the first recorded use of the quote, he was kind of a loner, kept to himself a lot. Actual quote. Got it in the notebook, put it in the story. First use in print. Today, every nut who does something, they trot out the neighbor, right? Do you have any idea he was capable of blowing up the waste treatment plant? Well, no. He was kind of a loner. He kept to himself a lot. That's my quote. They know in my heart. Now they know what to say. And well, maybe it's because I've been in this business for 40 years, but I recently realized I can predict with incredible accuracy what almost any interview subject is going to say anytime. I'm hardly ever wrong. Tornado survivor. An angel was watching over me, right? I guarantee I'm not going to have to interview more than 2 people to get that quote. I got it written down in the book here ahead of time. I know I'm going to use it. Politician sends out a vulgar email. I sincerely apologize if anybody was offended by my lack of judgment. Right. The quote he should be offering is, I apologize if anybody has a decent memory, because 6 months from now, I'm going to do this. Honestly, I don't know if I've gotten to be such a good judge of character. People have just gotten incredibly lazy at coming up with an original thought. Well, anyway, back to the matter at hand. Now, that is definitely a car-shaped hole over there. So, 2 years. Tribune let me go in 2011, and I started with the Chronicle in 2012. Well, that's very nice of you, but you didn't have to cancel your subscription on my account. The Tribune is still a fine newspaper. Thank you. Oh, well, yeah, the official reason is that the Tribune was cutting its budget for investigative journalism. And that's true, and that's very sad. But the real reason is that apparently there's a rule about not reporting things when the publisher of the Tribune does things with the wife of the mayor. Oh. And to answer your next question, that's why I'm standing here for the Chronicle, interviewing you about some guy who ran into his house. But, it's okay. It's okay. I'm probably not going to win any more Pulitzers, but you know what? I'm happy. I got 3. But I do thank you for remembering. So, Now, about your neighbor. How did this go? Well, who's he taking her out for? Who's he shielding? His son. Well, so son gets drunk and starts the car. How old? 2 years? A 2-year-old boy starts the car in the street and pulls up the driveway and hits that. Is he okay? Well, that's incredible. Well, that's amazing. A 2-year-old starts the car and has the presence of mind to put on a seatbelt? Okay, this is a story. What else can you tell me about this kid? Kind of a loner. Keeps to himself a lot. Thanks, ma'am. Yeah, I got it right here. Right here. You know what? I think I'm just going to call it a career.